I'll use a lot of luck.
Jessica. Up late last night. I don't know about you. I've been up late a couple of nights here. Sports is awesome. Less so when you got a 8 o'clock tip. Like 8 a.m. tip as a person.
Yes.
Like that's
that's
rough.
Life tip.
That's rough. Because
the alarm.
I'm on that Cam Ward plan. Where I show up to work 5 hours early.
Right.
I'm at work 5 hours early. I got to watch my John Cena's. Speaking of John Cena, we're not going to talk about it on TV Tuesday. I have not caught I got one more episode of Peacemaker and just have not had the time because of sports.
Yeah, I'm behind on everything.
Behind on Gen V.
Life. You should see my laundry basket.
You should see my laundry basket.
It's so bad. Chris was like, "Are you going to do laundry today?" And I said, "It's
During
Hustle
the
Media
week?
Day." And he said, "Well, what about tomorrow?" And I said, "It's a Wednesday. You know that's my busiest day of the week." He said, "What about Thursday?" I think I'll be sleeping.
No.
Maybe Saturday, but I am out of pants.
It looked like my laundry basket has vomited dirty clothes all over the place.
Mine has, and shoes.
Yeah.
And I'm still not unpacked from our dog sitting adventures. So much so that my
I'm not
hair
unpacked from
straightener
Disney.
was in the bedroom and Chris was asleep this morning, so I couldn't get it. So I just had to free ball it.
Hey, I'm a fan of free balling.
I
What was the
know.
song? Isn't that a song?
It was a terrible song.
I was free
falling.
Oh, I've been singing that wrong. Oops, my bad.
I deleted it.
Oh, turn
it was
up.
bad. It's an Eminem song called Godzilla. Featured Juice WRLD from like 2020.
I like that song.
Okay, you can have it on yours.
Well, it's not on mine.
I decided I don't need it anymore.
Okay, good for you.
And I was like, this doesn't
Deleting
serve
songs, like you've gotten so much better at this. Because back in the day, you would have kept that song because it's okay. Be like, oh no, it's
This
okay.
exercise has worked.
Yeah.
That's on growth.
Hashtag growth.
Sometimes things happen to you over and over again and you learn from them. Sometimes they don't, as we saw last night. What's up, everybody? It is Tuesday. It's Tuesday, October 28th. It is going to be a good day. Jessica Benson with you from the Grind City Media Studios in Memphis, Tennessee. CJ Hurt behind the glass. Coming up on today's show, the Grizzlies lose in the state of California. Again, Draymond Green did Draymond Green things. Again, we'll get into how the Grizzlies performed. Mike Wallace is going to join us. He's on the road with the team on this West Coast road trip. He'll join us in the second segment. We'll catch up with him about all things Grizzlies. Will Coleman, former Memphis Tiger, member of this show during the college basketball season. He'll join us for the first time of the year to talk St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. John Calipari made his return to Memphis last night. The scenes were awesome. He got cheers, not boos. Also had our first look at this year's Tigers team. They lost to Arkansas. The women lost to Vanderbilt. We'll get into all of that. It is also Hustle Media Day. Memphis Hustle Time head coach Rob Sanicola is going to join us. We'll catch up with him about what this year's Hustle roster looks like. Talk about some of the two-way guys for the Grizzlies and the Hustle. A busy Tuesday ahead. You know what we say. Actually, I don't. I don't this morning.
R.I.P. Flying Fish.
Civil unrest.
Oh my gosh.
$191 Collabs, presented by Pinnacle Financial Partners, brings Grizz Nation hyper-local Grizz gear from Memphis designers. The next drop is the top-notch collection from proud Memphian Brandon Hobbs and his clothing brand M-Town Merch. The homage to Memphis culture, classic sportswear, and elevated street style is only available at the Grizzlies Den on Friday, November 7th when the Grizzlies host the Dallas Mavericks. Get your tickets today at grizzlies.com/tickets or visit the FedEx Forum box office.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dome Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dumb Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Grizz Nation gets set for tip-off 1 hour before every Grizzlies home game with the warm-up show. Get the latest news, notes, and analysis live from courtside at FedEx Forum.
Who's going to be the tougher team that rebounds and prevents second-chance opportunities?
Join me, Lang Whitaker, along with Michael Wallace, Jessica Benson, and other personalities from Grind City Media, Memphis, and around the NBA. 1 hour before every home game, live at Grind City Media on X, YouTube, and the official Grind City Media mobile app.
Let's face it, there's a lot of trash talk in basketball, but the great teams let their performance do the talking. Like Ford F-150 with Pro Power on board, a class-exclusive industry-first feature that turns your truck into a mobile generator and leaves the competition speechless. Ford F-150, official truck of the Grizzlies. Greatness starts here at your Mid-South Ford dealer. Class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds, GVWR.
Jeff Dunham, artificial intelligence, his all-new tour.
Jeff Dunham. You're the other white meat.
How can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Feels great to feel the sunshine. Gotta own the day like it's all mine. Just got paid in his own time. Been working hard, I've been on the grind. I deserve this feeling, having my way. I've been on this healing. This is my day. The sun's out, let's have a little fun now. I wanna let it all out. That's what it's all about. Cause I deserve this feeling, having my way. I deserve this healing. This is my day.
Grind City Media presents The Jessica Benson Show with CJ Hurt. Live from the Grind City Media Studios on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
What's up, everybody? Busy show ahead. Busy night last night between the Tigers playing here at FedEx Forum, the John Calipari return game. We'll get into that with Will Coleman later in the show, but we have to start with the Grizzlies because, CJ, I'd forgotten what it's like to stay up until midnight watching the Grizzlies lose a game in California.
I stayed up because I got home right before tip-off.
Me
because
too.
of tennis. I suck. But when Brevin Knight on the call with like 7.5 minutes left, like, hey, this game is long. We still got 7.5 minutes left. I was like, oh, Brevin has given me permission to go to hell to sleep. Even he acknowledges, all right, this is long.
I will tell you when I went to sleep when we get to that part of the game, but this is where I remind people, the Grizzlies have not won a game in the state of California since January 5th, 2024. January 5th, 2024. They went all of last season without winning a game in the state of California. They lose their first one this year. It was a game against the Lakers back in January of the year 2024. Why are you looking so quizzical?
Because that's a long damn time,
Yeah,
Jessica.
I know.
I'm trying to remember where I was in 2024.
Probably right here.
I was here doing the show with
saying, God, I hate staying up late.
Did you do highlights for that?
That was before my highlight time.
Okay.
That's how long ago it was. It was a full season and a half ago. The Grizzlies play the Kings in Sacramento on November 30th. They must break the streak because they didn't last night. They fell to the Warriors 131-118. The real ones who stayed up got to watch the Spencer brothers face off at the end. That was fun. Pat Spencer tried to post up on Cam Spencer. He missed. Everyone was rooting for it. It was like a little backyard basketball moment with Pat and Cam Spencer. I actually thought this was very cute, and it has to be completely surreal to have a moment where your brothers, you get to face off. I love Kentavious Caldwell-Pope in the back, just gassing them up, Steph up top. Anyway, Cam wins that battle, but the Grizzlies lose theirs. This thing turned all the way in favor of the Golden State Warriors in the third quarter. The Warriors got out to a hot start. I was like, ooh, this might be over early. But then the Grizzlies settled in. Ja was getting to the free throw line. It was, I think, a 4-point game at half. But the third quarter rolls around, and it's 91-78 Warriors. Plenty of time to play. And that is when Draymond Green committed another Draymond Green hostile act on Santi Aldama. Draymond grabs him by the neck, drags him down. It's a dirty play. It's typical Draymond. So what are the Grizzlies going to do about it? What are the Grizzlies going to do about it, CJ?
If I know these Grizzlies, they're going to try and have a conversation with the young man and let him know, don't do that no more.
AKA nothing.
Okay, well.
I mean, Tomas Isola was mad enough that he got charged with attack.
He told Jaren to shut up, and Jaren shut the hell up.
Draymond is out there yelling. He is skip to my looing as Santi Aldama misses both of those free throws. Here's the thing.
How is this not attack?
Great question.
Because that's taunting. And if
somebody
went up there and forearm shivered Draymond and was like, yo, chill out, then they'd be in the wrong for that, right? Like,
and I think if there'd been more pushback and Draymond starts skipping around, then he probably is charged with the tech. But instead, it's wide open spaces to have a nice little skip fest. And I do have to say, I think Draymond Green is one of the most hysterical basketball players on earth. He's frustrating as hell. He's dirty as hell. That play on Santi was awful. But at the end of the day, like, okay, you got to fight back at some point. And you know, for me to say that, I am world peace. I am kumbaya. I am let's all talk it out and use our words. But if you see him do it over and over and over, this is what Draymond Green lives for. And it works like a charm. Because what happens? The Grizzlies fall apart.
They're afraid to shoot the ball. The next maybe possession or the possession after that, there are two open shots. Jaren has one and somebody else has the other one. I can't remember. And KCP.
Yes.
And they both pass him up because in that moment, the crowd is into it. It is a frenzy. Your heart is beating a little bit faster. You just had this minor physical altercation that you could have turned into a major one if that's how you felt about it. But the dude told you to shut the hell up. And like dude in Friday when Debo come through red, Debo say shut the hell up. Everybody shut the hell up. And you just sit there and let him punk you like that. And now you're afraid to shoot the damn basketball. And they ended up with a Santi Aldama, if I remember correctly. Santi Aldama back down, fade away off one leg from the elbow jump shot. It's like, yo, what are y'all doing? What is going on here?
And within the next few minutes, they're down 20. And just the momentum swings so much that you want to know when I closed my eyes last night? Going into the fourth quarter. Because I felt the tone of the game. And we have seen this so many times. Again, Draymond Green loves to do this, period. Loves to do it against the Grizzlies. And at this point, there's no one on this team who pushes back when Draymond Green rolls with his antics. And instead, it just folds. It's like running home and being like, Mom, the mean man did the mean thing again. The mean man came back.
And it's Draymond because it's the Warriors, right? But it's not just Draymond with this team. How many times are dudes going to have to be snatched out of the air on this with this franchise before somebody says, all right? And somebody being one of the dudes on the court immediately saying, hey, enough is enough. Mm-hmm. You broke. Maybe you didn't break, but we had Jalen Wells' arm broken and him laying in the hospital bed concussed. You got Ja Morant breaking his hip in the postseason because of this. This is a dangerous play. It is dangerous when somebody's in the air to try and grab them and escort them to the ground. It's dangerous when somebody's in the air to try and slide up underneath them. We as a franchise, we as a team, me as a player, just not going to deal with that anymore. Yeah. So if the league can't get it under control and the refs can't get it under control, to hell with it. I'll catch this fine and I'll get it under control. So also, dirty play, sure. It wasn't that hard. I've seen dudes get up after harder fouls swinging. Santi, it was you. Why didn't you get up and start swinging? Jaren, you got down there pretty quick. Why are you keeping such a gentlemanly distance between Draymond and you?
Michigan State man.
Shut up. And he shut the hell up and turned around and walked back. Like, what are y'all doing at this point? At this point, you've got to start setting a different sort of tone to let everybody know, yo, we're not going to be pushed around like this.
Right, and I'm not giving Draymond a pass. Like,
we can play basketball or we can get into some real gangster shit.
It'd be great if Draymond didn't do it. We can start there because they're like, why are we more mad at how the team responded versus Draymond? Because we've seen this over and over again. We know what he gets away with. It doesn't have to make it right, But God, you know the situation, and that's why he is able to skip around afterwards. And I had to watch it with Chris Luther.
Draymond, correct me if I'm wrong. Draymond wasn't playing for the Charlotte Hornets when
No.
okay. And was Draymond playing for the Oklahoma City Thunder?
No.
Okay, so this is not a Draymond thing with this friend. Draymond is Pit Draymond over there on the side, right? Like that's a different thing. This is happening. This is happening way too much, and this team is way too snake bitten with injury luck right now for dudes to just be okay with having a guy snatched out of the air like that.
And I
like
do think Zach Edey has the potential to be that. He is hurt right now. He's not on the court. And I saw a lot of people relitigating the history of Dylan Brooks on this team. And, like, sure, if Dylan Brooks is there, he's getting face-to-face with Draymond, and it's going in a whole other direction. And I think there's a part of Draymond Green that, like, wants someone to
somebody.
He enjoys that piece of it. The reason he loves to punk on the Grizzlies is because he can do it without care. But when someone comes back, then he, like, really enjoys it. And then you can kind of bait him into getting tossed from a game. And ultimately, Draymond Green ends up fouling out of this game. It wouldn't have been, I'm not saying the game would have changed if Draymond had been slapped with another tech and thrown out, but it was disappointing to see. It was disappointing to stay up for, and the team lost all fight after that, and it all fell apart, and it's not the only reason they lost, but it certainly didn't help. The other big takeaway from last night, we can say it over and over and over and over and over and over and over again because it is true right now. If Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. are not awesome together, this team is going to struggle. And they both need to be on the court at all times. I think we were reminded that last night as well.
One of them.
That's what I mean. One of them at all times. They should never both be on the bench together.
Was it second quarter when they were both? And then it was like, okay, what are we? Nobody can do anything. Put them back in. You had a lead. You had like a 9-point lead or something like that. And they both go to the bench, and there is not very much help. No run.
8-0 run. 8-0 run. Ja goes 8-23 last night for 23 points. Jaren goes 4-9 for 16 points. Jaren had one shot in the first quarter, which was a 3. He did get to the free throw line twice. He was 4-4 from the free throw line. He took 0 shots in the second quarter. He took 5 shots in the third quarter. So going into the fourth quarter, Jaren Jackson Jr. had taken 6 shots. That number has to be higher, especially right now because the Grizzlies shooting has been a little concerning. They were 12 of 39 from 3 last night. 12 of 39. Jalen Wells is in a shooting slump. I don't know, when's the last time Jalen Wells made a 3? Because he went 0 for the other night. He went 0 for 3 last night. And Kentavious Caldwell-Pope hasn't been all that much better. And when you have a lack of shooting, your 2 best offensive players in Ja and Jaren, your 2 best players, period, have to be more productive and have to be more aggressive. And that was not the case last night. Obviously, you're hopeful that for every game that there's one player who perhaps steps up to supplement those 2. We saw it from Cedric Coward the other night. It could be Santi Aldama one night. It could hopefully be Jalen Wells, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. But that's the thing, you lost so much scoring when you lost Ty Jerome and Scottie Pippen Jr. So it has to come from elsewhere a little bit, but it absolutely has to come from your guys.
Jalen Wells started the season 7 for 15, and he's 0 for 10 from 3 right now. So the last 3 he made was against the Miami Heat. He went, according to the stats, 3 for 7 in that contest.
I'm sorry, I lobotomized that game. So.
Oh well. Well, if you lobotomize it, then it's been even longer. His last 3 was from the Pelicans. Then
I am unfamiliar. Anyway, the Warriors looked good. They were playing without Al Horford. It was like 2 teams excited to play each other without a real center. And outside of Steph and Jimmy Butler, if they can get those kind of contributions from Kuminga, Pajemski, Moody had some big 3s off the bench. They ended up making 19 threes in that game. They're a pretty good little team. And the Grizzlies were on the wrong end last night. 131-118. Mike Wallace was there. He's going to join us in the next segment. The Grizzlies head to Phoenix for a game against the Suns on Wednesday.
Right now?
What do you mean?
Why are you
emphasizing the words?
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right.
I was up. I'm running on 5 hours of sleep.
I didn't know if that was
a question.
I didn't know if that was a new thing you were trying
putting
out.
The emphasis on
Did you
the
say
right
pudding?
syllable. Did I say what?
Pudding.
Pudding?
Yeah. I also thought she was having a stroke, Jalen.
Great.
I was concerned. I was like, oh no. Because we don't have stroke protocol up here.
No.
So if you have a stroke, like, we just go to break, roll
Don't
you
put
out
that
into the
on me.
hallway, and then we keep doing the show? You gonna make me do the show by myself?
All right, we'll talk to Mike in the next segment.
Just don't do that. It scares us.
Got it.
All right, thank you.
I will try to avoid having. It would also scare me to have a stroke. So
yeah, we don't
thanks.
care about that. You'll
We'll be right
fine.
back.
Grizzlies fans, dunks, dimes, and no looks are great on TV, but nothing compares to catching them IRL. And that starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight in person. From seeing your favorite Grizzly stars up close to hearing the squeak of the sneakers on the hardwood. Put that jersey collection to use and get tickets at Ticketmaster. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside, Memphis.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for? The boy is mine.
Catch us if you can at Southland Casino Hotel and win your share of up to $1.8 million in free play and prizes. Join us for drawings every Saturday in May, June, and July. Each month, over 900 winners will take home free play or drive off in a new car or motorcycle. Be there for all 6 grand finale drawings and try to catch us if you can, only at Southland Casino Hotel. Must be 21 up. Play responsibly. For help quitting, call 800-522-4700.
Watching the Grizzlies is easy with FanDuel Sports Network. If you have cable or satellite, you're all set. Find us on your channel lineup. You can also use your TV provider login to watch games on the FanDuel Sports Network app. No cable or satellite? Subscribe directly to FanDuel Sports Network online. You can also watch on Prime Video by adding a FanDuel Sports Network subscription. Not sure where to start? Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com to learn more.
Calling all collectors! Topps NBA basketball trading cards are back. It's available in the Grizzlies Den by Fanatics and online at Topps.com. Rip into bold color parallels, electric inserts, relics, and autographed cards from today's biggest stars and the next gen talent. Look out for rookie cards of Cooper Flagg and Dylan Harper, plus Grizzlies favorites John Morant, Jalen Wells, and so many more. You don't want to miss this drop. Grab your set before it's gone.
Kroger shoppers and Grizz fans. Want exclusive last-minute discounted ticket deals texted straight to you? Sign up with the new Kroger Buzzer Beater deal. Fans can sign up by texting Grizz to 636-479 or visit your local Kroger store in the Delta Division and scan the QR code. By signing up, you agree to receive recurring automated promotional and personalized marketing text messages from the Memphis Grizzlies. Consent is not a condition of any purchase. Message frequency varies. Message and data rates may apply.
Welcome back. Grizzlies fall to the Warriors last night, 131-118 at Golden State. Mike Wallace was there. He will be at the Grizzlies game against the Suns on Wednesday. He joins us this morning, bright and early West Coast time. Mike, how you doing?
You of all people know the struggle of being on Pacific Coast time, but that's how much I love the show, man. It's all good. Late night last night, and then I made it worse by watching 17 of those 18 innings of the baseball game and actually fell asleep before the home run, man. And I woke up, and next thing I know, Shohei Ohtani was talking in the post game. So I'm all good. It's all good to be here. Glad to be back with you guys.
We appreciate you coming on because there are other people on that road trip who I know if we called them up for a segment that they suggested, they wouldn't come on. One day, Mike, not today because it's too much to talk about, but one day you might have to go and knock on some doors for us. And because like the people want the music. The people want the Wake Up Rob song, and we can't play the song because Rob never answers. Mike, they want to hear this. And we can't play it because Rob never answers. So not today. Not today. It's Rob Fisher. All right, enough of that.
I don't even remember the words. It's been so long.
Enough of that. He's got the answer so that we can play the song. So one day, not today,
It's Wake Up Mike because Mike is awake and sacrificing sleep to join us this morning.
Absolutely. And normally we're all on the same floor. Every single hotel, every single road trip, we're all on the same floor. But Fish is one floor below me. I would, if he was next door, I would absolutely go do it right now. And we have no shot of him answering.
All right, Mike, you were in the building last night. We were talking about the Draymond Green of it all in the first segment and how that game really turned officially. Grizzlies were down double digits, but just momentum-wise, following the flagrant by Draymond, the no points between Santi missing both free throws and turning it over, and just the overall lack of pushback on Draymond Green, where next thing you know, he's skipping around having the time of his life. What did you see, and how perhaps do you think the Grizzlies could have handled that situation better last night?
You know, I was on the radio call with Eric Hasseltine on our ESPN 92.9 radio broadcast, and I was honestly sick to my stomach when I saw how that played out. Honestly sick to my stomach because, number one, the officiating was so mishandled in that situation. You obviously realized Draymond Green was off the handle because you gave him a tech, but you didn't necessarily immediately call for the flagrant. You know what I mean? You had to go back and review it to understand it was a flagrant foul. He clearly did not go for the ball in that situation. He went for, Santi Aldama's neck and then wrapped him around. And yes, he didn't push him to the ground. He more so tried to help him brace his fall. But by then, he had already delivered the blow. That was clearly a non-basketball play. It was a dirty move. It was a cheap move. And then for the Grizzlies not to respond and at least someone get up in his face, like somebody's got to get up in his face and say enough is enough. I get it. KCP, that's not on you. Cedric Coward, whoever else was on the court, that's not on you. But that is on, and that's not on Javon Small. These are rookies. But some guys that were on the court with him, or some guys off that Grizzlies bench, you can't come out there and get ejected. But somebody has to get up in that guy's face. And for, guys that have been around to not step up and at least go chest to chest and bump them in the face. And this exchange right there, come on, man. Jaren Jackson just got to say, you know what? I got to take the fine. I gotta take the ejection if it means we're gonna finally stand up to this guy. We may lose the game, but we're gonna see these guys again down the road, probably in this Western Conference. And enough is enough. 6 years, 7 years, 8 years of this from Draymond Green, specifically against the Grizzlies, is too much. Somebody has to step up and be a man in this situation and take it out on him because I'm tired of it, man. The NBA is not gonna do anything. The referees are not gonna do anything. You tried to get your coach last year to do something, but Taylor Jenkins can only do so much. Your rookie last year got up in Draymond Green's face, but where is everybody else? This has to stop if you're going to ever stop being the little brother to these Golden State Warriors. And last night, it didn't stop.
There's a whole lot of different ways to go about doing it, right? Like, okay, so let's say Santi is rattled after it happens. You miss 2 free throws. That's not good. That's not tough right there in and of itself. But on the next play, you got to set a screen on somebody. Just plow through somebody. Just run through. Don't stop and plow through them. Be like, oops, moving screen and step over them and keep it moving from that point. Let them know that, hey, we're not going to be pushed around. We're not going to be punked. And as a franchise, recently on these types of plays, dudes out front, on breaks, in transitions, we've had 2 pretty prominent injuries. Didn't get injured here, but we do not want that to happen anymore. We are on edge about that. We can play basketball or we can play something else. either way it goes, you decide, right? Like there are different ways to go about showing some sort of physicality. There are take fouls that you can take at various points at any point in time in the next 2, maybe 3 possessions. If you don't want to hop up and get in his face in that moment, fine, I guess. If he tells you to shut up in that moment and you decide you're going to shut the hell up, fine, I guess. But at some point, somebody, somewhere against one of these teams, because it's not just Draymond doing this to the Grizzlies, somebody's going to have to say, okay, to Mike's point, enough is enough. Here's a forearm shiver to your sternum on a box out. Here's something a little extra on a shot where I accidentally come down and thump somebody on the nose, right? There are different ways to go about handling this. The Grizzlies too often as a franchise here recently, not with that core 4 group, right? But here recently, they've been way too willing to be pushed around and then unresponsive when the game gets rowdy, right? You can bully them out of what they want to do, and we saw it for a stretch last night.
And I'll add one more thing to it, you know what I mean? Because yes, it does need to be belabored. It does need to be addressed. And to CJ's point, doing it covertly, no. This is one guy that has been in your head for the last 7 years that you guys have done this. Go at Draymond. Don't take it out on Gary Payton, the second. Don't take it out on, Pajimski or anybody like that. Go right back at Draymond Green and go mano a mano, and you both get ejected, and then you see where it goes from there. The problem in this situation, man, is that you cannot move forward against this team. You run into them too many times. That's the problem. It's not like you're going to be able to avoid these guys. You run into them every single time. And at some point, whether it's a play-in or playoff or whatever, and they've been able to get the upper hand against you, man. It's just time. It's time to do something and figure this out and take the fine, take the suspension. I think the league will applaud you, behind closed doors. Every other team in the league that's seen this will have something to say in support of you. And yes, you'll have a 24-hour to 48-hour news cycle where you have to defend yourself. And it's what about this ejection? Is it too much? Is it too suspension and all that? But hey, somebody's got to take the lead in this situation because it's been far too long.
No, it's truly like the kid who finally stands up to the school bully that everybody knows is the school bully, who goes around gloating and pumping his chest like he's the bully and gets away with stuff, but they, for whatever reason, let it fly. But everyone knows, and then one day the kid finally turns around and does something back to the bully, and he gets taken to the principal's office, and it's like a wink, wink, nudge, nudge, like, thank you for your service. Like, thanks for finally standing up. Like, it happens. And I agree. It's so frustrating. And I think, what was it, Mike? They've lost 13 of their last 15 games.
15 in Golden State.
In Golden State. That is a place that is in your head. That is a crowd that's in your head. That is a team that's in your head. For the same faces who have been there for all of it with Steph and Draymond and Steve Kerr and just the overarching cloud of the Warriors. Like, I'm with you. At some point, you have to change the narrative because otherwise you're going to continuously have moments like what happened last night where you can't fight back out of them after they happen. And it just sucks the wind out of everything. Outside of that, it's not the only reason the Grizzlies lost to the Warriors. What did you see, Mike, in terms of how this game got away from them and what's fixable for this team as we're just 4 games in, but now 2-2?
That third quarter, all of the things that the Grizzlies did well to stay in the game. Each time the Warriors tried to pull away in the first half, the Grizzlies had a response. I thought the sequence at the very end of the second quarter, with Ja rushed the 3 to try to get the 2 for 1, and he missed, and then they went down and scored, and then Santi missed a 3-pointer. I think that set the tone for a bad third quarter coming out of the halftime. And then when you saw how, Isolo was going to have his adjustments and rotations, I think that kind of put the Grizzlies in a bind. I get it. I get it. You want to make sure that you have Ja or Jaren on the floor at all time. But if you're only going to have Ja or Jaren on the floor, or Ja and Jaren on the floor for 3 minutes to start the third quarter, and then you sort of toggle them after that, you're basically fighting with one hand behind your back. Those guys aren't necessarily great at playing together, but it's almost impossible for you to do much when one of them is off the floor and the other one doesn't have at least the threat of someone else on the floor with them capable of scoring and commanding the defensive attention. The Warriors did not respect the Grizzlies and what they were capable of doing on offense in that third quarter, and then the Draymond issue happened, and the game got out of hand from there. It went from a 2-possession game to a 20-point lead and deficit that you've fallen into. And on the road against Golden State, there's no coming back from that. These are all learning moments, though. You got to give Isolo credit. This is his first full year at the helm. You got to give the lineups some grace. They're only 4 games into the season. But as Santi Aldama told me before, man, like right after that game, we got to expedite this process. We can't be playing preseason level, taking a preseason level approach while we're in the middle of the regular season now. It's got to start coming together and clicking pretty quickly.
And Ja has said that too. Like, no, we're not using preseason as an excuse. We're not using lack of consistency minutes as an excuse. Like, this has to be ready now. And I wanted to ask you about Ja in particular, because he has been a real leader in how he has approached losses this year, wins this year. Seeing him coach up his teammates, the communication levels seem to be higher. I saw last night in your locker room talk with him, just going on the offensive flow of last night's game, always putting it back on himself. That's on me. I have to be better. I have to lead this team better. What have you made of Ja early in the season that perhaps feels a little tonally different maybe than the last couple years?
As you talked about it, it's easy to cut to the leadership, right? Because it's obvious. You're seeing it obviously play out now. He's taking ownership. He's talking about, holding himself accountable in conversations with Coach Tuomas Isolo, and those guys making in-game adjustments in their conversations and in their approaches. But it still has to, it boils down to execution. Like, I like what I'm hearing, because it's almost like, okay, these guys are taking the right mindset. Even Isolo after the game, I asked him directly what went wrong in the third quarter. And his answer wasn't directly what went wrong in the third quarter. It was more of a gloss over of everything that happened in the approach. He talked about the competitive level. He talked about all of those things. But 20,000 people in the building and hundreds of thousands of people who could watch that game saw something went wrong in the third quarter. So, you have to be able to directly address what the issue is and admit and acknowledge, hey, this is what's wrong. This is why it went wrong. And here's what we are trying to do to fix it. And sometimes you don't hear that. And you get the broad stroke of, hey, it's on me. We're going to be leaders. We're going to fight through it. We can't use this as an excuse. But you also have to have the reality piece come in. Yes, the reality is this team never got right in training camp. This team never got together in the preseason, and now you're using the first 5 games or 2 weeks of the season to try to figure out things that you couldn't figure out over the last month. That's going to put you behind the 8 ball. There's going to be some great nights and some not so great nights, and we've seen the last 3 games play out drastically different. You got blown out by 30 against the Heat. You basically won by 20 against the Pacers. You got blown out last night against the Warriors, even though the score didn't indicate a blowout, but it was a blowout in the second half. So that's where you are. It's these erratic performances that have to iron themselves out eventually.
And a part of the volatility is the injury situation, too. Like 5 guys on the injury report to start the year. Enough in the 4 of Jerome, Pippen, Edey, and Clark that you now were able to use a hardship exemption. What's the latest on Bassey, Mike?
Yeah, Charles Bassey, yeah.
He's with the team.
Yes.
He didn't play last night, but there's an expectation that he will.
Right. He's with the team, didn't play last night. He's going to maximize this 10-day because the Grizzlies will have played 6 games over the course of his 10-day contract. So when he's ready, or when Isolo feels like he's ready to put him in, Bassey's ready to play. He's a springy, 6'10", forward center. He blocks shots. He runs. He catches lobs at the rim. He gives you some more interior depth that you're needing right now. But in addition to what he could potentially do on the floor during games, if you need him, he's also another big body that you can have in these practice sessions. And as you get to that point in the ramp ups where Brandon Clark and Zach Edey and some of these other guys need bodies to go against to get back on the court, in their return to play process. So by the time Bassey's 10 days are up, we're going to be approaching the front end of that reevaluation schedule for Edey and Brandon Clark. And hopefully by the time this 10 days is over with, maybe it takes another 10 days, but you're in the middle of November by then, or the middle of November, approaching the middle of November, and you can see some reinforcements starting to get on the way back. And that's the hope right now, and that's why you bring in Bassey at the front court.
Bassey got hands on him.
Hey, he better. He got 2 of them just like everybody else. It's not about having 2. It's about what you're going to do with those 2 and what your mindset is. And again, like, I don't expect half this roster isn't responsible for fixing the Draymond problem. It's the half that's been here for 7 years and have seen it. Man, he went at Taylor Jenkins. He's gone at Steven Adams. He's gone at Zach Edey. He's gone at, his guy, his Michigan State teammate, his Michigan State alum, Jaren Jackson Jr. He's got like how many different ways. Anyway, we moved on from it. I'm tired of it.
We've given that man too much attention. Like I gave the flying fish too much attention yesterday. Mike, civil unrest. Mike, when it comes to Cedric Coward, a little back come to earth moment, 9 points, 4 of 6 shooting, still had 4 rebounds, 2 assists. The game against the Pacers, though, really represented a sky's the limit mentality as it pertains to what Cedric Coward can be, how quickly he can achieve that. What have you seen from him? This is his first road trip of his professional career. What have the conversations you've had with Cedric been like?
He had a bunch of family in the building, last night at I was about to say Oracle. Oracle Park is now the baseball stadium, and Chase Center is where the Warriors play. He had a lot of family and friends and coaches and everything in the Chase Center last night. It was big time atmosphere to see him. This was a homecoming of sorts, being a Fresno guy. I know that's a couple hours south of here and towards the middle of California, but this was a homecoming for him. And it was a lot of things that he wanted to try to build on from even that Pacers game when he was almost perfect. And what he showed, and he had the temperament too. Look, I'm not going to be able to play every night like I played or deliver the results every night like he did against Indiana, but he has to take the same mentality and approach. And he had some moments, against that Warriors, team last night, but he also, it wasn't an overwhelmingly explosive game for him or pretty much anyone else other than Ja Morant offensively. But you still have to applaud what not only Cedric Coward, but also Javon Small are doing and what you're being asked to do. These guys are in the fire, as Kentavious Caldwell-Pope said the other night, and they have to be flame resistant, as much as they can. And it's going to be some up games and down games, but these guys are not afraid of the moment. They're built for this, and the Grizzlies have struck again with another pair of NBA-ready rookies. I write about these guys. I write about their process in my latest piece on Grind City Media, so go check that out. My latest mic check is talking about how the Grizzlies find a way to get 2 guys to come in and immediately have an opportunity and an impact. They did it last year with Zach Edey, obviously, and Jalen Wells. 6 years ago, it was Brandon Clark and Ja Morant. Now you got another set of rookies who you're going to be relying on to do some big things to carry you through throughout this season.
Before I let you go, Mike, we're 1 week into the NBA season. Has there been a performance that's impressed you the most? A team, an individual?
Obviously, everybody's going to default to Victor Wembanyama, who has the Spurs unbeaten at 4-0 right now, and he's the MVP of the opening week of the season by far. Right, like there's no even second place when it comes to that. The Spurs are a legitimate team, and they've been fast tracked. We've seen this before. The Grizzlies were that darling 3 years ago. Coming off of back-to-back 50-win seasons when they were the young and up-and-coming team. And San Antonio is young, and they're doing it. Can they sustain this? It remains to be seen. But I thought that they were going to be a play-in level team. And now they're proving to be a team that could compete for a top 4 spot in the West if this continues and they stay healthy. So I don't think it's flukish at all. Was also surprised me in the East is what Maxey and Edgecombe are doing. You know what I mean? Those guys in that backcourt in Philadelphia are just basically torching the league in terms of scoring. So I love what I'm seeing from Philadelphia, despite the Joel Embiid on and off and Paul George. They seem to be rounding their way forward. And the Spurs in the West are the biggest surprise to me in the West.
Mike, thanks so much. Get some sleep. Enjoy the West Coast. And we'll see you again on Wednesday for Grind City Media coverage.
Absolutely. Thanks again, guys. See you guys
Tell
later.
Rob we say
go
hi.
Grambling.
Yeah.
Go Grambling. Go Grambling. Go Grambling. Yes, CJ, I'm coming for you, man. Yes, I'm coming.
What'd I do?
How'd your Commanders play last night?
Don't bring that up.
Nah, see, there we go. Hey, you just Draymond Green me. You just basically said, shut up. Shut up.
Yeah, and see how easy it was to speak right back? See how easy it was to give a little pushback on it? It's not that hard.
I tried to bully CJ and Jess threw it right back in my face. That's exactly how you do it.
That's called teammates.
Put it in the film review. Put it in the film review for tomorrow's game. Right.
Mike, we'll see you later. Thanks. That was Mike Wallace. You can find his latest up at grindcitymedia.com.
Grambling State went out there and performed at a really high level in Vegas. They knocked off Jackson State. Jackson State was 12 in the nation in the FCS, if I remember correctly. Grambling State not having a great year. Back-to-back seasons with wins over Jackson State. Well, we'll talk more about that on HBCU.
On HBCU Huddle.
Yeah. They moved Jackson State in the Black College Football Poll from 1 to 2 after that loss. The team ahead of them, Alabama State, Jackson State just beat. I'll break all that down.
You
Crazy.
break it down on the HBCU Huddle. We're going to break down the scenes at FedEx Forum last night for the St. Jude Tip-Off Classic. Will Coleman is going to join us after a quick break. Our first look at this year's Memphis Tigers basketball teams. They were exhibition games, but you're able to take a little. Plus, Coach John Calipari's return to Memphis. How it went, still ahead. We'll get into last night's World Series action as well. And it is Memphis Hustle Media Day, and we will be catching up with head coach Rob Sanicola on all things Memphis Hustle. Busy show. We'll be back after a quick break.
You ready? I've been ready. What are we waiting for? The boy is mine.
Let's go, Grizz! Let's go! Oh, John Moran just broke the rim with that finish. Defense, take them ball! Defense, take them ball! Jared with a rejection. Give me that! Moran digs at it, knocks it away. Picked up by Pippen.
Sonic Radio. Welcome back to Sonic RNDIO. That spells radio with me, the CIO. This just in, the new Sonic $1.99 menu lets you build a crave-worthy meal for just $1.99 an item, whether that's a creamy shake, crispy tots, or a quarter-pound double cheeseburger. This just out. Ostriches. They're mean, not very cute, and in my opinion, way too big for a bird. Don't miss the Sonic Fun 99 menu. 5 items, always $1.99. Live free, eat Sonic.
Tax not included. See menu for details.
Just walking through FedEx Forum, what's that been like for you?
To be back here knowing that this is going to help St. Jude, it's going to recognize Fred Smith.
Yeah.
Come on now, what he did as an individual. It's going to highlight the city and that what this great place is. There's not many cities like Memphis.
The Gary Parrish Show, live on weekdays at 10 a.m. on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
The countdown to the 2025-2026 Grizzlies season is on, and our 10-game packs are the ticket to your ultimate fan experience. Whether you want to see the big names or just cheer on your team on the weekend, you can save money on a ticket pack that fits you. Choose from 4 different pack varieties or stack multiple packs to make sure you don't miss any marquee matchup or electric atmosphere this season. Visit Grizzlies.com packs to get your ticket pack today.
Jeff Dunham, Artificial Intelligence, his all-new tour.
Just a ham. You're the other white meat.
Ramsey, how can you be so smart on one hand and so stupid on the other? Well, you're half of it.
I realize I could have avoided all this years ago with one simple word. I do not. Silence!
Don't miss a Memphis. Friday, April 10th, FedEx Forum. Tickets on sale Monday, September 29th at jeffdunham.com.
Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing compares to catching your Grizzlies IRL. And that all starts with buying tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Ticketmaster gets you to the game so you can catch every highlight. Put that jersey collection to use for the next game and get Grizzlies tickets at Ticketmaster. Whether they're here at FedEx Forum or on the road, Ticketmaster's got your back when it comes to scoring tickets. And there's no better brag than saying you saw it live.
I didn't never been for, you know what I'm saying?
Welcome back, welcome back. Will Coleman is pacing excitedly behind me. He walked in the studio. If you don't know, now you know. Will Coleman occasionally makes us incredible food creations on Tuesday mornings during the college basketball season. And I didn't know if he'd have it on day one, but of course he does. And he's so excited to present whatever is in these. What's in the box?
Look,
I had
What's in the box?
Look, okay, I'll finally sit down. Look.
Okay. Take a load off.
I had to come out with a bang this season.
Okay.
With a bang, okay? New season, new energy, new momentum, brand new team, as I was looking yesterday. We don't have a
Brand
single
new
person.
team.
Brand spanking new. But we'll get into that. But CJ, what I have for you and JB is the stuffed.
Stuffed what?
Stuffed what? You bet not. You bet not. You bet not.
Ricotta Detroit pizza.
Oh my.
Hell yeah! Woo! Let's go!
Hey.
Yes! Yes!
Hey.
Yes!
Listen.
Yeah! Give it to me! Woo! Oh! Yeah! Woo!
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hell yeah!
Hey.
You know, if I'd known that the pizza came with shirtless CJ, I might have just said no on the pizza.
Hey. Now it's you know, it's my rendition on it, so it's a
Thank
little.
you.
I tweaked it a little
Okay,
bit.
okay.
But we got some Parmesan,
Are
some
those
mozzarella,
2 pizzas?
some vodka sauce,
You're insane.
little burrata cheese,
Oh my God. Will Coleman.
some hot honey.
Will. This
So
is insane. What a man. What a guy. This is how you do downtown dining in Memphis. Holy smokes. You guys, I like
What's up,
it.
baby?
Okay, wait, hold on. I want to see. Jalen, can we get a shot of this? Look at this. Look at this. So it's funny you bring in food, because I was going to talk about downtown restaurant with you that you've kind of helped out with a little bit as it's started to open up downtown Memphis. I went back to Tonica last night. It's great.
Yeah.
For people who are looking for a new restaurant downtown, if you're willing to, like me, brave the great civil unrest of downtown Memphis that apparently causes some restaurants to close, but other restaurants to absolutely thrive. Tonica, thriving, back there, a million tapas to choose from, great cocktails. They're doing 24/7. They're doing happy hour all night on Mondays to start things off, and we love that. And it was a great place for people to get some food before heading over to the Tigers game last night. I don't know how to eat this. I feel like I need to tee you up for something so that I can try to take a bite of this pizza. Your mic is all over the place.
this thing-
Everything. This just really. CJ took CJ's Draymond Green skipping around the studio. Like, what have you done?
Okay, here we go. Here we go.
There you
All
go.
right, here we go. This is cool.
You're
This
good.
So yeah, take a bite, and now you know we can.
All right, let's get into the happenings here last night.
Yeah, let's do it.
The game is kind of secondary.
Yeah.
Because one, it's a great event for St. Jude. I thought the court was awesome.
Yeah, court was
the
awesome.
St. Jude court, awesome. I really hope that this turns into a regular season event,
Yeah.
not an exhibition game. It was great for what it was.
Yeah.
I know they would have loved to have a full sellout, but the fans that were there seemed very enthusiastic.
Yeah.
And we're ready for the moment with Coach Cal being back in Memphis. You had Cal and Penny out on the court at the same time.
Right.
You celebrate those Coach Cal teams. A lot of players were in town. Like 30 guys came back to be a part of that moment. And Coach Cal was cheered. There had been some question. Was he going to be booed? How was it going to be handled? Are we seeing the grudge slip away, Will?
Man, you know I'm gonna call him Cap.
Okay.
Cap, man, Cap. All these
I'm gonna
people
eat a piece of
screaming.
pizza.
You eat that.
Thank you.
All them people that screaming, they hate Cal, and I can't believe he did us like that, and all that mess.
Holy moly. I almost said the F word.
That thing on.
That's so good. I understand why you said we needed napkins, though.
I can't do you can't hate a man like that, man. I mean, yeah, he probably up and left and did what he did the way he did, but you can't hate a man like that.
It's been 20 years.
Yeah, what he brought to this city and the fire and the magic. I think more people are upset at the fact that we haven't had that since he's left versus I think people are just upset he left versus how he left.
Yeah.
I mean, because it's like he
I
really
would actually
did.
say upset how he left, not that he left. Is that what you're trying to say?
No,
Because I think people get so caught up in he said he wasn't going anywhere and then he went somewhere. He lied to us and then turned it around. And people have used that as an excuse to hate him for leaving.
I get it. I totally understand. I think it's just it's just an opinion, but
Yeah.
I think they're just mad. I think they're mad he just left. Period.
I think that's fair.
But I mean, last night was great. The atmosphere. Now I will say, I'm a little upset. I think we had more Arkansas fans than we did Memphis
There
fans.
was a lot of red in that building.
It was a lot of red, and it's a little upsetting, as a Tiger, but. Last night, there's a lot of things. I was literally thinking about this as I was writing, as I was thinking, all this stuff going on with the National Guard and all this other stuff, different conversation for a different day. But at the end of the day, I feel like if all these people can leave where they left and come here in downtown Memphis.
Can't actual Memphians do it too?
Yes.
Yeah.
Then if you live here, there shouldn't
Preach
be an
the
excuse.
gospel, Will.
It shouldn't be an excuse for you not to be down here to fill up that arena. Yeah, it was late. Game ended at 11. It was a Monday night. I get all that. But if them people was willing to come down here, and I'm always keep it authentic and I'm always keep it real. If it was the older, there was a lot of the elder Caucasian race down here watching this game in downtown Memphis, supporting this program, why can't we get Memphians to support this program? So, that rubbed me the wrong way a little bit. But overall, the event is always good. It's for the kids, St. Jude.
Yep.
Court looked amazing. Atmosphere was good. I mean, now if we talking X's and O's, there's a lot to dissect here.
Where do you want to go ahead, CJ?
It's hard to do anything with a exhibition game.
Right.
And I think the next step, first off, for them to draw the size crowds that they've drawn the last 2 years for two exhibition games. Granted, of course, it's against South Carolina's women and there's Arkansas men's basketball, and you got the Cal side of things. And you've got the beautiful moment where the basketball alums are out there on the court last night. And it was great to see all of those people because they meant so much to the basketball program and to the fabric of basketball in this city. But it's still an exhibition game. The next step to me is you got to make this a regular season type thing. We see schools go and play neutral site classics or hoop offs or whatever they want to call them,
right?
All the time on aircraft carriers and at this location and that location. So you capitalize on that. You get St. Jude. It's a great cause.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great cause. PGA is behind it. PGA Tour comes here and honors St. Jude. You get college basketball to do it. Find a sponsor and say, all right, it'll always feature Memphis, right, and we'll find another high-level basketball program to come in here, men's and women's, to tip off the season, be on that first weekend slate of game or first week slate of games. And that first game of the season, is going to be packed in there. It's just hard for me to imagine a place where any exhibition game is a sold out, no matter how wonderful the teams are and how great the cause is.
But I think his point was, if the Arkansas fans can come for the exhibition game, why can't the Memphis fans come too? Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, yes, both. I mean, two very valid points. I think this could be an amazing event. I'd like to see it on a Saturday or Sunday, because if you start in a game, you got one game at 5:30. It's not a high school game. You start at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
You out of there by 9.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you got the girls and the boys playing, but a game like this. You got the girls' game, they calling fouls, you got 4 quarters, then you got the boys basketball, 2 halves. I mean, there's so many different variables there, but I think if you can get a blockbuster game like that on a Saturday afternoon at a noon and a 3, and you playing, your Arkansas, your Auburns, I think a Louisville, Memphis would go crazy with a game like that. Obviously, it's old ties there, a lot of bad blood there, things like that. So I think that'll be real nostalgic for a lot of old and new fans. But if we could get something like that for a St. Jude Hoop Classic, I think that would be major. Now, I'm gonna call Chris Boyson when we leave him, man. I'm gonna call Chris Boyson and see if
start working those
I'm gonna
lines.
call Chris Boyson, man.
For the first half last night, I thought the new look, new team, Memphis Tigers, they played hard, they played fast. They went up 15, and I was like, oh, they got something going here. And then the second half came, and it all kind of
got
crumbled.
tired.
Memphis couldn't hit a shot, and Arkansas made all of theirs. And it was that simple, and suddenly Arkansas's up double digits. Where do you want to start, though, with what you saw from this team? Because it is an exhibition game. It's the preseason. But this is our first chance seeing some of these guys.
We gotta start. We gotta find some kind of pace with a lot of these guys. I mean, a basketball game is similar to a boxing match. You know, Blade gonna go blow for blow. Somebody gonna make a run. Somebody gonna land a couple jabs, a lot of right hooks, whatever the case may be. But it's just walking through those ups and downs to be able to last through a basketball game is what's going to be important, because we came out on fire. Now, I think we shot like 17% from three, which is the same old song every year. Still, you know, trying to be able to shoot. But, you know, somebody who really, really led the charge defensively, and I think that could possibly be his role. I don't think he's the best scorer, but I think Givens, he was the head of the snake last night when it came to defense. I really love what Doug did on offense. It's very hard to stay in front of him. They didn't have a problem.
Doug fan. Doug with just the U.
They did an excellent job at sharing the ball. You know, we got to get some of our bigs to be able to catch that ball. They did a great job. There's a lot of highlights, but defensively, my biggest takeaway is, man, we got to slow down. You got to pace yourself, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint, because they blew it out the first half, and then second half, you know, that experience, that continuity from Arkansas, you know, they walked them down and just, you know, and Cal, just experience, man. Hey, we still in this game. Let's execute and get out here and do what we need to do.
A couple of things that are pretty common under the Penny Hardaway era, turnovers being high. They're going to be able to score the ball, and they're not going to be able to shoot particularly great from beyond the arc. How do you think this team is faring with those things so far?
I think because of the athleticism and the speed that he has, I don't think it's like, all right, well, we can't shoot. Let's continue to attack and use our speed and athleticism. I think if we can learn to shoot the ball, obviously it'll open up the offense. But just having to figure out a different way to get things done, because like I said, last night, they had a hard time. When Doug was on 10, they had a hard time staying in front of him. Second half, it was a different story, got tired. But we have to be able to shoot the ball, because it's going to be the same old thing. They're going to pack the paint. They're going to wait. They're going to double team. And they're going to take advantage of us if we cannot find a way to get that ball in the hole from the arc.
With Doug McDaniel, it does feel as if Penny once again has a good guard, someone who can run this team. And he was at Michigan, then he was at Kansas State. But he, especially in the first half, really was able to push the pace and keep the game in control.
Right.
Things kind of fall apart. But when you looked at his game last night, did he remind you of anyone, or what kind of baseline does he provide for this team?
Man, I'm willing to, you know, both of them were so fast. You know, I see a Kendrick Davis. I see a Jeremiah Martin. Again, the speed and athleticism at that position is it's a very valuable asset. And he didn't mind taking shots, getting to the rim. But I definitely see a Kendrick Davis and a Jeremiah Martin in Doug McDaniel. And I really love, again, I love how unselfish he was with the ball.
Their first game, where it actually counts, was 2 days away. They have to play Auburn.
I'm sorry, what?
Auburn.
Yeah.
What did you see, I guess, that would encourage you? Because this is what happens in college basketball every year. You get these opportunities non-conference. We've talked about it, and we'll continue to talk about it so long as Memphis is in the American. Once you get to conference play, you don't have a whole lot of opportunities to have style points, and especially to build a resume that can bump you up come tournament time.
Right.
But the problem is you play all these tough non-conference games so early in the year, and as is the case with this year's team, all new faces.
Right.
This is a whole new thing. And so how quickly can it come together? What did you see last night that I guess would most give this team the opportunity to make some noise here early when they have the Auburns of the world? They play San Francisco next week. They have Ole Miss, UNLV, and eventually they'll end up in that Baja Mar Championship tournament where they'll face Purdue, and then however the rest of the tournament shakes out.
A lot of these teams do come equipped with some bigger individuals that can play around the ball or play around, you know. My biggest thing last night that I saw that I got afraid of, that I feared, is the inside presence. Yes, we have, you know, Silla, and we have, I forget his name, The other 7-1 guy, drawing a blank here.
This is fair early in the season,
Yeah,
as we
yeah.
all are working on knowing all of their names a little bit more fully. I
can't think of his name either. Bradshaw.
Bradshaw.
That's what it was. Bradshaw.
Yes.
Um,
Aaron Bradshaw.
Yes. Yes, we have the length, but we're going to have to rely on that speed when we play, because I think Bradshaw maybe touched the ball in the paint maybe 2 or 3 times. There was a lot of 5-out action going on. So I'm curious to see when we do play, the SECs and those guys with the bigger men. And I hadn't had a chance to look at everybody else's roster, but, those guys usually come equipped with a bruiser or a banger in the paint. And so I'm curious, and I'm a little nervous to see how we fare when we have to play somebody like that.
It's so early in the season, and I know you're a busy guy. Have you watched any of the other college basketball action here early? Like some of the performances from a Cameron Boozer, who have everybody in the NBA space thinking maybe everybody wants to tank this year and take a look ahead at that 2026 draft
I hadn't
class.
watched him. I've just followed him.
Yeah.
I've just followed him. And, I mean, it's just next level, man. But again, it's one of those things to where, his dad is like a brick house. His dad looked bigger now than he did when he played, obviously post-NBA weight and stuff like that. He still looks like a massive human being. But when you have somebody like that, obviously the genes are there. Then when you got somebody like that who has played the game and who's been around it and who has done multiple things in the NBA space, I mean, it's a recipe for, usually, they would say disaster, but it's just like, come on, man. That man's 6'10", like a beef truck, and he handling the ball like that. That's just crazy
and a
to me.
freshman, and a baby.
Man.
Yeah.
So
between
the question,
him, that Darren Peterson at Kansas, AJ Dybonsa at BYU, even Nate Amna at Tennessee, like the top of the draft class has started on fire, which should provide a really exciting college basketball season, but also does create, obviously we're in the Grizzlies space, a net of, okay, if this doesn't go well this year, I think for every single team in the NBA, there's an air of, if it doesn't work for us this year, well, that's a light at the end of the tunnel that I can certainly focus on and get real excited about draft prep for next year.
But, it's going to be a forever debate about, money and NIL and stuff like that, because, yes, I know the end game is the NBA for a lot of kids, but if you getting $5-6 mil a year playing in college, it's like, do I want to leave yet? Do I want to? There's so many things like, well, what if you get hurt? Woo, knock on wood. I don't want anybody to get hurt. But then it's like, he at Duke, but then what if, I'm just throwing some, what if, Wang's barbecue from, I don't know, from North Dakota, like, hey, man, I'm finna throw you 10 mil if you come.
Dang, Wayne's barbecue's got the
that's a
North Dakota would be so excited if they
that's
had
a real
barbecue
thing.
With 10 mil in the bank.
And that's a real issue for some of these colleges and some of these players. At what point is enough? And then you decide, okay, I'm about to make the next jump. I want to get to the league versus stay in college.
Well, this pizza, I can't speak enough. I'm only sad that the rest of the world will never know how good it is. And my husband will be lucky if he knows how good it is, because it is delightful. If you've never had ricotta stuffed pizza, you're missing out.
We had to, I had to come out guns blazing, man. I think I set the tone, set the bar a little too high.
Maybe. It's one of the best things you've ever made, if we're being honest. How often are you making pizza these days?
I just love the kitchen, man. A lot of inspiration come from CJ.
Because he posts
a lot of stuff of what he wants and needs.
Yes.
And so I see it, and I do a quick little, what I'm saying, let me see if I can, because I don't have all the access or the resources like all these fancy. I work with what I can.
You work well.
You
work well.
And so between that and the cinnamon cheesecake that I made, that my top.
That was those high level stuff.
Yeah, those was mine.
There's a special place in heaven waiting on you, Will.
Yeah.
If I get up there before you, I'm gonna be at the gates waiting. I'm be like, Jesus, that's my God. Let him in. Let him in. Have mercy.
We'll take a break. Will, thank you. We'll see you all season.
Yeah,
you'll be back. We'll be into it before we even know it.
Oh.
Okay. No break.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Also, the Auburn game.
Yeah.
Isn't that exhibition? Did you say it was exhibition?
She said it was in 2 days for sure.
Yeah. So 2 days is another exhibition against Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that pizza.
That pizza, unfortunately, is going to make me pass out, and I have a long, long day.
We just talked about you
ahead.
not
Are we
having
good for a
strokes and
break? Are we
passing
not
out.
good for a break?
Yeah, what's going on down there, Jalen?
Okay, we're good. We're going to take a
Okay.
break. We're going to come back. We're going to have Memphis Hustle head coach Rob Sanicola join us. We'll talk a little bit about last night's World Series game as well after a quick break.
Grizzlies fans know it's the team that gives you the edge. Big River Steel does too. And much like the Grizzlies have recruited legendary talent, we want you to be part of our team. Are you ready to be part of something legendary? Then visit www.bigriversteel.com. That's www.bigriversteel.com. Thanks for showing up, Memphis. Nothing beats catching your Grizzlies IRL, and nobody knows that better than you. So next time you want to hit up a game, Ticketmaster's got your back with tickets to every upcoming matchup. Whether you're catching the Grizzlies at home or on the road, you'll find tickets at Ticketmaster, the official ticket marketplace of the Memphis Grizzlies and the NBA. Keep putting that jersey collection to use and get Grizzlies tickets today. There's no better brag than saying you saw it live. See you courtside again soon, Memphis.
Oh my goodness!
Look who it is.
Zach Edey.
Hey,
Zach.
look at it's like the cell phone bars, bro. Give us that shot again. Give us the shot. Give us the wide shot again. Zoom out on that shot again, bro.
We're the cell phone bar. We're the cell phone bar.
We here, baby.
I like it.
We here.
I like it.
The Chris Vernon Show, live on weekdays at noon on YouTube at Grind City Media and the official Grind City Media app.
Nate Bargatze.
Look, I say a lot of dumb stuff. I try to keep it in front of large groups. Seems to go better that way.
Big Dome Eyes World Tour.
When you say something dumb one-on-one, it's a lot for that person. I'll say it, then I can just feel that they feel the weight of my life on their shoulders.
Tickets and info at NateBargatze.com. Don't miss the Big Dome Eyes World Tour. Nate Bargatze.
Welcome back. Memphis Hustle season is upon us. Today is Memphis Hustle Media Day, and we are so excited to be joined in studio now by Memphis Hustle head coach Rob Sanicola, lead assistant last season, now running the show this year. Coach, thanks for joining us this morning.
Thanks for having me.
I'm going to have you grab that microphone just a little bit close. There we go. We are all in. The season is so close to being back. I guess I'll just start with this transition for you, having gone from being an assistant with this group last year to now being the head coach this season. How excited are you for this to all get started?
Yeah, I mean, super excited. Moving those 18 inches is a big responsibility, but it's something that I think I've done for 20 plus years. So excited about that and just helping our group kind of progress. And it's been fun to watch. So just, you want to fast forward this time to the 8th, but you can't. because it's really important just to get the group into the mix.
So before you were here last season as an assistant, you spent a long time in the college ranks. You were first at St. Joseph's College in Maine, and then you were at Southern Maine. How did that part of your journey, spending all that time in the collegiate arena, then lead you to the opportunity last season, first with the Grizzlies as an assistant?
Yeah, just super lucky and fortunate that some people reached out from the Grizz, and it just seemed like a great fit to go from the college level to the G League. As a kid, you just want to get to the highest level.
Right.
I was there for 25 years. And at our level, it's all about development and helping guys to become better people and better players. And I just thought it was a natural transition to doing some of the stuff I love, to get these guys better, to help them with their dreams of getting them to the highest level.
Did you always want to be a coach?
You know what's funny? Yeah, my dad coached me when I was young. I did interview for the Secret Service. That's a side story.
Whoa.
That is a side story. My dad
Are we not allowed to talk about interviewing for the Secret Service?
We are, but
Okay.
it was my father was a special agent for the government.
Wow.
Me being the oldest son, you kind of look up to him and the things that he was able to do for our family.
Yeah.
So it was just a natural progression.
The family business would have been the Secret Service. I got
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So coaching, though, has been much more rewarding. So that's been the fun part of it. And now I get to share that with my two boys. And obviously my wife is, a basketball widow at some times, as she explains it. But just super blessed that I've been able to stay in this business for so long.
Yeah.
All right, coach.
Okay.
Like what? Secret Service.
Yeah.
So what? Huh? What? How? What? What's the test to get in? And then like, why did you choose coaching over being a member of the Secret Service? Because that sounds like a cool job. That sounds like they give you the neuralizer, right? Isn't that the thing that they give you?
I don't know.
That's what I asked for after the Heat game.
Yeah. I don't know if it was a cool. It seemed cool, but you went through the process. It was a 2-year interview process. Any of the interviews now, job interviews were very easy.
Okay.
I was on a lie detector for 5 hours. Yeah, it was like what you see. So it was definitely a great experience, but coaching is a lot less pressure than.
It's all comparative, right?
Yeah.
Like some people would look at
Yeah.
coaching as a job and think, God, that job has a lot of pressure, wins, losses, the
Yeah.
variability from day to day. But in comparison to being hooked up to a lie detector test for 5 hours, not so bad.
And they made you feel very immoral because they went back all the way to like you being a kid. Did you ever lie to anyone, and you would have to say yes or no based off all these series of questions that they would ask you off the detector. So did you ever tell your mom that you took out the trash and you really didn't? Or all these little things, and then it's one question back to, did you lie? So it was definitely, it was fun. We talk about it to this day, but I'm glad that part of that is over. And I'm glad that, basketball continues to be in my life.
That sounds
So did you ever lie to your mom about taking out the trash?
I'm not on the detector,
You're
so
not on
I'm
the
just
detector,
gonna
you're
say.
free.
I'm just gonna say.
You're free
I've
from
never
that.
lied to my mom, so. Yeah.
God, can you imagine if we had I saw one team, and now I can't remember it off the top of my head. An NBA team did a lie detector bit for their players for their Jumbotron in-arena entertainment and hooked their players up to lie detectors. And someone, like the one question I saw was they put the different outfits that the walk-in outfits, and then put someone on the lie detector and was like, do you like this outfit? And had to go one by one, and most of them were lies, and they didn't actually like them. Well, the truth is, the Memphis hustle season is upon us, and no lie detectors needed there. With this group this year, how are you trying to form an identity? You mentioned it. The primary focus of the hustle is to serve as a developmental league for the players who will either ultimately end up playing for the Grizzlies or will ultimately be trying to carve out their NBA careers elsewhere. But you have to have something that stabilizes the force. So from your coaching chair, what are you trying to make the big emphases this year?
I think it's exactly what the Grizz are doing, right? That's part of what was attractive to this position, is that we get to do everything that they're doing and trying to develop our players to hopefully maybe be a potential Grizzly player, or maybe be picked up by another NBA team. So I think the defensive identity is going to be a big focus. That's what we talked to the team about. I love the city we're in because I think it matches up to the identity. And then you just think of the great Memphis teams, the grit, the grind. And I think that's what resonated this year so far with the Grizz. So we're going to try to mimic the same thing. And the players, I think, they've already bought into that. So we've already seen it in the first day of camp, of just playing fast, picking up full court, making multiple effort plays. So I think that piece, and it's controllable, right? And I think that's a big thing, that it's in our control to play that way. Yeah. So that's the best part of it.
Coach, what are some things that you like and enjoy about being a coach?
I think when I first got into it, it was about you're just around people, right? And it's a great way to help young people. And I think that's been the most enjoyable part, that you get to, you get a player here and a person here, and then eventually you get to bring them to this point in their life. I think there was a coach that said, you could judge me how good of a coach I am 40 years from now when my players grow up. So I think, to me, just being at the level that I was at, that always resonated with me, that, I'm building these young men to be men, and we'll do it through basketball, something that we both love and enjoy. So I think that's been the fun part about coaching.
How often are you and Coach Isolo communicating? How does that process work between the two of you?
Yeah, we have a great relationship. So, we talk. Right now I'm trying to be mindful. They have a lot going on, but we'll talk through our internal communications. We've had meetings talking about what the season should look like, where the development should be, how coaches' roles, all those different things. So it's an ongoing process. And then I have some experience being a head coach, so I know the times of when to communicate, but he's been very gracious with his time, and he's got a lot going on. So
have you learned that he is an American pop culture encyclopedia?
He is just an encyclopedia.
Okay.
Like it's fun sitting in the meetings,
yeah.
And just listening, and just as a coach, I believe, like, the great coaches know that they haven't learned everything. So this experience for me has been great, just to learn, and not just coach, I mean, their whole staff. There's so much NBA experience there. So that part of that transition for me too, that I could lean on everyone, and even my staff, right? We have a very diverse staff of experience, so that's been helpful too. This isn't just about me.
I'm going to address the camera when I say this, because you don't have to say anything, because I know there's going to be people out there and they're going to say, you have the Memphis Hustle head coach on the show. Why aren't you asking him about Jemai Meshack? Why is nobody talking about Jemai Meshack? We got the full roster for the Memphis Hustle yesterday, and at the very end of it, there's a note that says Jemai Meshack, whose NBA draft rights were acquired by the Memphis Grizzlies in a trade on July 6th, will be eligible to join the Hustle roster on November 7th. So after November 7th, we can ask Coach about Jemai Meshack. But like any trade in the NBA, when Zach Kleiman's talking or when Tomas Isolo is talking, you can't talk about it until it happens. So that's why we're not going into Jemai Meshack.
Yep.
But I do want to ask you about specifically the two-way guys for this year's team, because due to the injuries with the Grizzlies, we've seen a fair amount of them have to play in these first 4 games. And I'll start with Javon Small, who at backup point guard, that was a position with a lot of depth for the main roster, and yet suddenly he's having to play major minutes, and he's been really promising in those early times. And I found myself yesterday, my husband's a massive Golden State Warriors fan. Don't hold it against him. He's a nice person. But we were sitting on the couch watching Javon Small and baptism by Warriors in Golden State, and yet he said, that kid's going to crush those times in South Haven when he's playing with the Hustle. What have you seen from him, and what excites you most about the opportunity to develop with him?
Yeah, I think he's just willing. He's always, when my interactions with him, he's always listening. He's always trying to get better. And I think that, right, I know it might be a cliche, but if you're coachable, I mean, especially as a young player, and you're willing to listen to maybe some people that you haven't even met yet. So I think just his openness to learn new things, I think that's really
what we've seen here now with him just kind of stepping in and being comfortable and looking like he's going to be there for a long time. So I'm not sure how much we'll see him, but we're just super excited for his development because he is, especially as a point guard, his demeanor, it looks like he's never getting flustered, and I think those are really translatable things to the NBA.
You're coaching the hustle, so maybe you don't notice the vibe around the arena because you're so locked in and dialed in. But when those damn kids come out for the kids' night or kids' day and the schools show up, it is real chaotic. How do you guys stay focused as all of these kids are screaming and doing their own thing in the stands, creating one of the most hectic but oddly fun environments in sports?
No, it's. I mean, who loves it is the players. The players love it. It's a great atmosphere. It is different, right? You are prepared for it. I think
they're screaming just because. They're not screaming because things happen. They're just yelling just because.
This year, get ready. You're going to hear 8,000 renditions of 6'7".
I
watched a clip of a field trip of kids who were at like a theater somewhere, hundreds of kids, and they all started doing it at the same time. They were all just 6'7", 6'7", and I said, we never did that.
And
we never did anything that annoying in unison.
I have 2 boys, so
so you get it at home too.
13 and 12.
Oh,
so
God.
they're 20 months apart, and I've already seen the videos. This was like in the summer before when I went home, and there's my son showing me the 6'7" videos, and I think they banned it at his school right now.
That's insane.
Yeah.
It should be.
Just be ready, because when that scoreboard says 67,
Wait.
they're going to have to stop the game.
We also have to go back to the fact that you just said your sons are 20 months apart, and you're a coach, and you've already talked about your wife, who at times has to be a basketball widow, which is a very real thing in the coaching world for the partners of coaches who have to understand the chaotic schedule that entails. How did you have 2 under 2 at the same time as a coach?
I don't. You
just do it.
You just do it. But she's the real MVP. Like, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for her.
Yeah. Oh, that's so sweet. But man, you got through. And now, how do they reward you? They 6'7" all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
So
I don't even know.
How often are they at like practices, watching what you're doing and
so you're gonna. I'm trying not to get emotional here, but they're still in Maine. Okay. So we make it work.
Yeah.
Every 4, we're trying to make it every 4 to 5 weeks that they're coming back down here. So they'll be here for that first week.
Cool.
Obviously, they're still in school, and we just didn't want to uproot our boys.
Yeah.
The 13-year-old is, finding his independence a little bit. So we just want to keep him in their, network of friends, the community. They both play sports, so they're kind of in that fabric. So, but they do enjoy coming down. They do enjoy coming to our games, and then obviously they enjoy coming to the Grizzly games.
Which sports?
So they play pretty much everything. We're not into specialization right now, so they're playing soccer in the fall. They're playing obviously basketball. That wasn't forced upon them.
It was by choice.
It was just they're
Genetics.
there every day, and I think they just gravitated towards that. And they play baseball, but they'll do. We'll play football in the yard. That we'll do all that stuff.
They hadn't gotten into lacrosse yet?
I did growing up in Long Island.
You played lacrosse?
Yeah. So in
Very
Long Island,
northeastern
you're forced to play a little bit, and baseball was very. I don't want to upset anyone, but it was a little bit boring as a younger kid. But my 2 boys gravitated to like pitching.
Oh, okay.
And shortstop and first base, so it was a little bit more entertaining than the outfield.
Okay.
So they stuck with it. But they're kind of. My oldest is at the age where he's now starting to think of basketball is a little bit more enjoyable.
Yeah.
Obviously, he sees what's going on, so he finds the pleasure in playing there.
So being the dad of 2 kids who also play basketball, but you also happen to be a coach for an organization that has one of the players that young people love the most in Ja Morant.
Yeah.
Do they just think it's the coolest thing in the world that you get to be within that proximity?
Yeah, it's trying to remind them that this isn't normal. right? Like they have the jerseys, they have, I remember telling them that I was going to come to Memphis, and I just remember like 2 weeks before that, they're looking at all the YouTube shorts and they're just like going crazy about Ja, and them coming to the games, then it's just surreal. And then them seeing other players too that they watch. I still remember the first time in shoot around, they were on the floor and the players coming up to them. And I was like, hey guys, you have to actually talk back to them. They just had like the big mouth and just staring.
It's
and
like, hey, and they're like,
they're just like, okay, now this is where you say hello.
this is how we form a conversation.
Exactly. So I
so
think
cool,
it's kind of cool too that they get to see that, but it's also us as parents just reminding them that, hey, this is special. This isn't, you got to be grateful for these opportunities.
Before we let you go, Maine and Memphis, they both start with an M.
Yep.
Very different places.
Yep.
What is something that you love about Memphis that you wish you had when you were spending time in Maine, and something you love in Maine that you really miss when you're down in Memphis, other than your family, which is the obvious nice
that
choice
was
to say.
Thank you for
Yes.
saying that. That's number one. The ocean.
Okay.
In Maine, even though it's a cold place, it's still a beautiful state. So I think that, and I guess the barbecue. Like in Maine, there's great restaurants. We're right outside Portland, so there's wonderful restaurants, but haven't found many barbecue restaurants like Memphis. And I've still got to go to a couple places. I think that's probably my biggest knock, is that when I'm just locked into basketball and I don't really venture out doing too much. But Cozy Corner, I've heard, is right around the block from me.
Yeah, it's not too far. It's about 6-7
exactly,
miles away.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah, same.
We had to Edna.
Well, you haven't found the barbecue in Maine, but you probably haven't found a lobster roll in Memphis, which that's a hard thing to do. I really want to go to Maine. It's on my bucket list of states. Because I want to go dog sledding.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I got
You really want to go to Maine.
So I really tried to find last All-Star
That's
break.
Maine.
I'm serious. I spent so much time researching to try to surprise my husband and take us dog sledding in Maine during the All-Star break of last year. But you'd be shocked to know, one, getting to Maine, well, you wouldn't be shocked to know because you got to fly there. So expensive. And two, the dog sledding was also very expensive. So we decided to do it another year.
Yeah,
but I've heard Maine is just beautiful at all seasons.
Yeah, it really is a beautiful place. And I didn't grow up there, but it has been home now since 2000 when I graduated college. So it's a great place to raise a family. So if anyone hasn't been there,
the
please
Memphis
visit.
to Maine Study
It is
Abroad
called
program
Vacation
will start
Land.
soon. Vacation
So-
Land.
so
Well,
it's a
this
great
was
place.
fantastic, and we're so happy that right now you get to call Memphis home, and we're excited for this season with the Memphis Hustle. Everybody can come out. This took us to the end of the show, so we're gonna wrap it up. Happy Tuesday, everybody. We will be back tomorrow. It'll be a Wednesday. It'll be another Grizzlies game day. Grizzlies will be in Phoenix to face the Suns. We will see you then. Have a wonderful day. Bye.
Say it.
Awesome.
6-7.
6-7.